My name is Evann Siebens, and I'm a visual artist. I'm based here in Vancouver, which is also the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish people. So I work with media and photo, but I actually come from a performance place. I worked for many years as a dancer. I actually trained at the Royal Ballet School and the National Ballet School, and I danced with the National Ballet, and I danced in Europe for a while. And then I went to film school. I kind of quit and went to film school at NYU. I mean, I always think of it as time-based media. Performance, you move through time, and also media, you move through time. And in this piece, in particular, navigating the horizon. So there's actually a lot of things going on in play with this. The gesture that I'm photographing, I actually photographed Anne Ngan, who's a dancer who lives on Hornby Island. And she is in her 80s now. We actually went out onto the rocks on Hornby Island and photographed there, kind of on Downs Point, which has a very long history in terms of the conceptual history of Vancouver. And these sort of gestures of her moving around, like this was her choreography. And so I captured that in media and in photographs. And so this collage piece, it really feels like something in between. It feels like there's some movement and there's media, but it's still arrested in this still image. The female body and the landscape, how a place like Hornby Island speaks to so many people. These rocks and this sort of like moonscape that you see, these sort of way that the sea has cut out the rocks. You know, there's a weathering that happens. To me, that was a little bit like the weathering of the body, of the skin, of, you know, a woman who's in her 80s, and kind of like the beauty of that. And yet also kind of like how fleeting the human presence can be within this landscape. It was like, there's like a human presence and then it's gone. You know, where are we within this? You know, you can read that as environmental or not. You know, there's a poeticism to it that lands in many ways. So the human body, the idea of the landscape, the idea of movement, the female human body, how these all are sort of interrelated and speak to one another.